somehow we still made it through thousands of years and awesome inventions and discoveries and really smart people without this modern public education. And so that's what we have to realize, is that if you can read, you can teach.
Let's talk a little bit about Rethinking School, because that's actually the first chapter in your book. What do you mean by Rethinking School?
Well, I say this is the most important chapter before you read any of the others, because you've got to get this part down. And what I mean by that is just taking your experience in the American public school system and acting like you never heard of that before, and thinking, what does a kid actually need? And it's kind of scary, because we all think, well, I don't know, I just do what the teachers told me, or my kids do what the teachers said or the school district says. But we actually have everything we need within us to educate children. And so we have to realize that it doesn't take 12 years, and it doesn't take 5 days a week of 7 or 8 hour days.
Right.
It does not take a certified teacher. It doesn't take a classroom with a desk and a chalkboard. I mean, all those things are great, except for the overkill on the time. I will tell you that it's not necessary. But we've just been so trained to think that's what school is. And so that's what I really want people to understand, is that's one way. That's not what all school is. And it wasn't even the way of the world until about the 20th century, late 19th century. The world did not educate its children this way. And so somehow we still made it through thousands of years and awesome inventions and discoveries and really smart people without this modern public education. And so that's what we have to realize, is that well, this is something I say, and I've had people already quote me on it. If you can read, you can teach.
Right.
You've got some books. That's the start. And so everything else is just figuring out how your kids learn, what is your budget, what age, what grade your kids are, what do you need them to know to become functioning adults in society. And so, I mean, obviously a lot of this work has been done for us, but just starting to think, maybe my child can't do a math worksheet at 5 years old, or maybe my kid's not going to read at 5. Maybe they'll read at 7 or 8. That's okay.
Right.
They're actually not messed up. Or, you don't have to have 12 years in a row of grammar workbooks, really. As long as you take the time to learn proper grammar, you don't have to do it every year. I've had people get so upset when I show my homeschool schedule, and one time there wasn't science on it. And they thought, and I just want to say, you don't have to do science every year for 12 years.
Right.
You don't have to have a science workbook, but you can if you want to. It's just thinking outside the box and thinking, well, what does an actual human need?
Right.
That's you, and you start there. And last night we had a support meeting here in my local area, and my aunt, who was also one of these 80s homeschoolers, was there, and she spoke, and she said, I always start backwards. I start at what kind of product do I want? What kind of kid do I want to send off into the world? And I work my way backwards. So if this is what I want, how do I get there? And just think outside the schoolroom and figure out, how am I going to get there? And you don't have to do it by yourself either. It sounds like, okay, create a plan. There's lots of great help out there to do this.